let's see if I can do this. So hello all you people out there in YouTube land that are going to be watching this. So as I was saying, we're working our business every single day in one way or another. And does that mean that you're working it as an event? Does that mean that you always have something going that's huge? No, that's not what it means. When you have those things, it's great, but those things are a lot of work. But we should be our own event every single day. We should always be prepared to get out there in our world and make Avon a part of it. You should always have those brochures with the recruiting flyers that are there to give out to anybody who asks you. You should never have a need to run back out to your car to get anything. You should always have it in your purse or in your Avon bag or whatever you're doing. And for all you newbies, if you're like, what recruiting flyer? Well, get on the Onward No Matter What Facebook group so that you can take advantage of all the files that we have in that group for people to take and use, and you can change the information to yours so you don't have to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. You just get on there and you change your information and quit trying to overcomplicate it. That is the big deal in this company. Everybody's either trying to one-up everybody with a better flyer, or you're trying to make it a prettier flyer, or you're trying to make your label the best, or look, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're getting the information out there. What matters is that you're getting the brochures in hands. What matters is that you're smiling and you're touching people's lives. What matters is that you know what your goals are, and if you stay so stuck on what it is that you want to do perfectly, you are going to perfectly go nowhere in this business. You're going to stay right where you're at now. And that's not what we want for you. The reason Lee and I opened up our group globally to all representatives is so that everybody could not say, oh, it just didn't work for me. Oh, you know, this Avon thing, nope, I couldn't do it. I didn't get any help. Nobody cared about me. My manager wasn't doing this. My upline wasn't doing this. Oh, Horace, I don't have an upline. What am I going to do? The deal is, this is your business. It's all up to you. You can't say you're the only one without an upline. You can't say you're the only one who has a lousy upline. You can't say you're the only one who has a bad manager or has no manager. And you can't say you're the only one who ever got pissed off with Avon, because we have all been there. Yet so many of us, thousands upon hundreds of thousands of us, are making this work. And we are making this business into something that we can do full time. Never in 10 years in the beginning of my Avon career did I ever think that this was going to be something that was going to become my livelihood, that this was going to be something that was going to support my being and help support other people in my life, where I would be able to reach out because of my Avon career and help people, not just monetarily with money, but to be able to help people help themselves. And that's exactly what my Avon rep did 15 years ago, or 10 years ago for me, but Mary Ann Penn was my Avon representative for 15 years. So not only did she give me great Avon service, but she also offered that opportunity to me many times. But at the right time that I chose to take this, look where I'm at now. You all look at me now, those of you who just met me as a senior executive, and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be Molly. I want to be like Molly. I could never do what Molly does. Oh no. Yes, you can. Because in the end, I wasn't anything but a customer in the beginning. Okay? All I did was decided that I wanted what somebody else had. That when I saw the money that my upline was making, and she introduced me to so many people out there in the Avon world, and I saw what they were making, I have to tell you something. I just knew that I wanted a piece of the action. That's what I knew. I said, they can do it. Why can't I? And I've realized many times in my Avon career that there are things that I have let get in the way, that things that, like getting my S on and being a senior executive, I wonder sometimes, could I have had my S on sooner? And sometimes I think, yes, I could have. but I let certain things get in my way, or things took precedence. And look, that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes things have to take precedence. Sometimes something happens in your life, in your family, sickness, whatever, and you're not able to put as much into it as you would like to put into it. But this is what I don't get. And yeah, some of you are probably going to get mad at me, and you're going to say, I'm going to like get out of Onward, and I'm not going to be on your calls no more. And Molly, you just don't know what you talking about. The deal is, yes, I do know what I'm talking about. And what I don't understand is when something goes on wrong in your life, why the first thing that you do, the first thing Avon reps do on our teams, the first thing they do, the first thing to go on the back burner is their Avon business. The one thing that could help them in so many different areas, the one thing that could help them maybe keep their sanity when nothing else is doable, the one thing that could help bring money in, the one thing that they could control when things are bad at that main job, the one thing when their kids aren't listening and there are issues in the home, or you're having problems with a spouse, or maybe life just isn't good and somebody's sick and somebody has cancer, or somebody is diagnosed, or you lose somebody in your life. Look, I get it, because it's all happened to me, not just in my life, but it's all replayed itself in my life in 10 years. So no, I'm not the one who doesn't feel sorry, who doesn't have empathy. I am the one here to tell you that if you let certain things get you down in your life and keep you down in your life, that it's going to just keep you there, and it's going to get thicker, and it's going to get muckier, and it's going to develop a stench, and it's going to stink awful, and you're going to say, how do I get out of this? And that's what I don't want for you, because there were a couple of times in my Avon career that I found myself there. That I found myself really thinking, how am I ever going to recover from this? I can remember one of those big times was when my upline Mary Ann Penn, when her husband Ray Penn was diagnosed with leukemia. And I can remember thinking, oh, he's going to be okay, he's going to make it. And he was such a dear friend. And he was like a brother to Lee. And I can remember when he died suddenly during treatment. I can remember thinking, oh my God, how are we ever going to get past this? How are we ever going to move on from this? I mean, at the time, I thought the worst death in my life had been losing my mother at the age of 16. And this brought it all back home because it was somebody so close to me. And I can remember thinking, I have to be there for my upline. I have to be strong. She's my friend. And I have to help her through this. And in the process of doing what had to be done, our business suffered some. But I don't regret that, because that is where I needed to be. And my team upheld me during the time that I was going through that. So I do get the losses, I do. But what I'm telling you is, when you lose those people in your life, I don't think those people would want you to give up something that could change your life and help you change the people who are still here in your life. So I'm telling you to think that when you're going through something bad, a diagnosis, a family problem, a problem with your spouse, and you feel like all you can think about is the problem between you and that husband or that boyfriend or that girlfriend. And I'm telling you from somebody who knows, going through a really horrible divorce years ago, that the one thing I could control during that time was my Avon business and where I took it. No matter what the frustrations were in my life, the one thing that I could say, I can control how good or bad this is. I can throw myself into this. I can make this work. And when I did that, everything was better during that time. That's what I can tell you. Well, I have to tell you something else. The last week or so has not been a good week in Molly Stone Bibb's life. And you all know I am very real, I am very honest, I am very out there. A lot of senior executives and nationals out there who probably don't like the fact that I am as honest with all of you as I am, whether it be on a video or whether it be on a call or whether it be on Facebook. But this is the reason I am, whether they agree with it or not. And as you can tell, the opinions don't always matter to me, because here I am again telling you about it. The reason it doesn't is because I don't think you just need to see all the great stuff that happens in life in Avon. And I don't want you to think there's something wrong with your life because you have tests, because you have trials, because you have tribulations, because you have frustrations. And then you think that when you get that S on, when you get that E on, when you get that N in front of your S, that those things just never happen. That you never have any struggles, that the Avon fairy just waves her wand, kind of like I wave my poof wand, and you just think that everything goes away and there's never any problems. I'm telling you that's not true. I'm telling you, for this SEUL right here, let me tell you, it's not true. So don't give up because of that, because that's just not a good enough reason in my book. Let me take you through a few of my frustrations, and maybe some of you can relate, okay? So we're going to play out like the last 8 to 10 days of my life. We're going to take a few things that I've had a little bit of a struggle with, and we're going to talk about it a little bit, or I'm going to talk and you're going to sip your wine or whatever you drink, and I'm going to sip my hot tea, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. You know, I've been talking about for a few weeks prior to this that Lee and I were heading up to West Virginia, that we had a big event to do up there. And it's an event that we had done 4 or 5 years ago for the first time. Didn't start out great when we did that event. By the end of the day, though, everybody loved us. They had our spin and win. For those of you who don't know what that is, we're not going to go into it, but you can find it on my YouTube videos. Just look up Molly7720 on YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I have one on there that's called Spin and Win. And Spin and Win was a great success there. Everybody pays $1 to spin the wheel, and whatever they get, they win. Anything from a hand cream to a full-size product, whatever it may be, whatever I have on the wheel, that's it. So they have been trying for years to get me back, and a lot of different things kept us out of there. Lee's dad had been sick a few Christmases. Bad weather had kept us out of there, and we didn't want to commit. And they had really came after us this year to come back up and bring that wheel back up. And I thought, if I ever went up there, you know, I'm going to get baskets together, and I'm going to, you know, I'm really going to take this thing, because what I realized is people who came to this event didn't want to order. They wanted to buy stuff right then. So I was excited. So, you know, we arranged to go up there 2 or 3 days early so I could go up, take the product up there. Lee's mom is also an Avon representative, has been for the last couple of years. Thought it would help her build her business, and let's go in and let's do this thing in West Virginia. So, you know, we go up, and, you know, when I sent in my application, I said, look, I haven't been up there in a few years. I want to make sure you don't have another Avon rep up there. I would like to get 2 spots instead of 1. I'd like to have this really big go off here. So if you can't put me in the place I want to go, and if you have another Avon representative, do me a favor, just send me my check back, no big deal, and I can just put that money into another event. And they said no problem. They would do that. Well, needless to say, we get up there, and I spend 2.5 days and nights, most nights not going to bed till 3 or 4 in the morning, making up these baskets with different things like the luck and some kids' little things, $5 to $25 baskets. I have my Elsas and my Olafs up there. You know, we are ready to go. We have the wheel up there. Boy, I am ready. And we get up there to set up. And don't you know that the first thing I see when I walk in the door is another Avon tablecloth staring me in the face. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't my tablecloth, just so you know. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So, you know, I went up and I thought, well, this is going to be uncomfortable. I'm looking for the people who would put this event together, like, what's going on here? What are you doing? And so in the meantime, the other sister Avon representative who was up there, who was a local vendor, Christy Scruggs. Christy Scruggs, I've met her for the first time being in West Virginia. I didn't get the opportunity to meet her in Orlando because she ended up having to go home because there was a crisis in her family. And I felt horrible. I felt horrible, number one, because I thought, I'm just not, I don't go up and step on anybody's toes. You know, I preach to you all the time, don't do that. You know, don't step on people's toes. But at the same time, you know what, you know, when you're going out tossing, somebody calls and says, I want you to know that I'm a rep on this street and, you know, you don't need to toss books. Well, that's different. You know what, if she's taking care of the people on that street, she doesn't have any worries. That's not stepping on anybody's toes. That's just simply skipping her house and going on to the next street. But this was different. This was a vendor event. And in this case, most places, most people who do this, there is only one vendor per event. Not at this event, people. There were 2 Origami Owls, you know, 2 Scentsies, 2 Avon, 2 this. I mean, it was like twins all over the place in the same building. Well, I was hot, frustrated and hot. So needless to say, I go up. And I say, let's figure out what's going on here. I go up, I talk to the lady who, by the way, I might as well have been talking to the wall because she just had the worst personality in the world for this thing. Now, Christy and I were fine. You got to understand. Christy got to meet me. I got to meet her. It was great. We were like, look, dude, we're going to make the best of this. I didn't punch the lady out. I didn't end up in jail. That was a great thing. But I, you know, a couple of times I wanted to take her husband out, but I thought that wouldn't have looked good on the Channel 7 news, so we didn't do that. So I said, you know what, God, what are we going to do here? We're going to make the best of this thing. But I have to tell you, internally, I was really stressing about it. I was stressing about it because there was a sister representative there, who I believe has great respect for me, and as an Avon representative, I have great respect for her. And although we were doing different things, I had baskets and stuff, and you know, she was selling the product outright. They had us in a portion of a different building, of the same building but a different area. But still, you know, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So you know, it ended up that event really did not go the way it should have gone. Probably not as good for Christy. Definitely not as good for me. I was livid inside, but I can remember it was the first time, you know, we packed everything up. We did okay. We paid for the event and then some. We paid for our gas. You know what? We made money, but we did not make what we should have made had we been the only Avon vendor there. I can remember packing everything up, and it's freezing cold up there, and the rain is coming down, and it's sleeting, and I just felt everything that I had been holding in all day. I was all welled up, and I remember I started talking to Lee, and I just started bursting out in tears. And I said, I cannot believe that I put all this work into this event. I am taking all these baskets home that I did not sell. And I should have been able to sell them because one person didn't care enough to respect their local vendor, and it was more important for them to take my $70 for that event. I felt a frustration that I had not felt in a very long time at an event, because most events are pretty organized, and this was not. And, you know, Lee, he didn't know what to do. He just want to fix it. He just want me to stop crying. That's all he want. He's like, baby, we'll go home. We'll sell these baskets everywhere. It's going to be okay. And, you know, he just wants to make it okay. My in-laws felt horrible because here I was. I'd come almost 7 hours down the road to do this event. And now I was basically taking home more than what I actually came with, because now instead of everything being in boxes, now I had these setups of baskets that I couldn't destroy now. It was so frustrating. And once I got some sleep that evening and I woke up, I just said, you know what am I going to do with this? You know, am I going to stay pissed about it? Am I going to figure out what am I going to do with this? And I thought, you know, Molly, you act like the people up in West Virginia were the only people you could sell from. You could only sell it in West Virginia because you took it to West Virginia. No, Molly, you can take it to Maryland. You can take it anywhere you want to take it to. All you have to do is go show these baskets. Now, I have to tell you, thinking back to me as an Avon representative 6 years ago, 7 years ago, start of my business, not being in too long, My immaturity level at that point in business ownership. And that's what you have to think about, people. I want you to think about this. You just want to take your ball and you want to go home. That's what you want to do. This isn't working. I'm never going to do an event again. I can't believe people do stuff like this. You know, if they do it, everybody must do it. That can be your attitude, but I'm here to tell you that's not true. And, you know, I got to thinking, you know, how am I going to tell my peeps about this? How am I going to tell them about this not flop, but in my eyes it was a flop? Now I have to tell you, I'm sure that my mother-in-law is going to pick up some new customers from it. We sold some baskets. People spun the wheel. I sold a bunch of Elsas and Olafs because she wasn't able to get them because I was. And that was all great. But I had that thing in the pit of me that said failure. That said I should have been able to pull this off amidst everything else because, you know, I'm Molly Sunbib. I should be able to do that, right? And it took me back to a reality that when you all are complaining about something on the Onward group and you're feeling that frustration, I truly wonder if God wasn't letting me feel that because I needed to feel your frustration again. Because see, where I'm at in my business now, I feel frustrations, but I feel different frustrations now. Because I don't do a whole lot of events anymore like I did early on in my Avon career. And I want you to know that it's okay to be frustrated. And that feeling I had, and it's even okay to cry about it. Because I did. And if I did it, it means you can cry. If I cried about it, you can cry about it. But what you can't do is let it paralyze your business for the entire next week, for the entire month. It can't paralyze your attitude. That's what you don't want to happen. And I got to tell you something. As a 10-year vet, I felt that happening to me in the midst of that whole situation. Me, 10-year vet, senior executive, doesn't even make her big money off of events. But the point is, man, I felt what you feel when something doesn't go right. Let's just say it wasn't the type of thing like two vendors. Let's say you think it's going to be a big event and it's not and you feel like it's a flop. Look, I've had a lot of flops too. But I was able to revisit that frustration. So I want you to know that what you're feeling is absolutely validated. It's validated because nobody likes to feel like something's a failure. And you don't look at the fact sometimes that it may not have been advertised correctly, that you know what, that something was beyond your control, because all you know is if you had done something different, it would have been better. It's so easy to be harder on ourselves than to just let it go and move on. What I was able to do quicker this time than in the past was once I had gotten some sleep, and if I had had a bottle of wine, I probably would have drank the whole bottle of wine, but I didn't, so I couldn't. But once I got some sleep and I woke up, and believe me, the whole drive, we had to leave the next day. So the whole drive home, Lee and I were still talking about it and talking through it. And the difference is the talk was different. The talk was, what are we going to do now in order to move the baskets we have left? Are we going to go do a roadside type tailgating? Am I going to contact my senior communities? Am I going to start taking a basket or two as I'm delivering orders and show people what I have? The deal is, my maturity level in my business matured enough that when I let myself have my moment, my overnight moment of what went wrong, then immediately I got back up on my feet and I said, what am I going to do that's right now? How am I going to move what I've already done? I don't want this work to be wasted. So what am I going to do to move it? And so immediately, what have I done? I have put my feelers out to make sure that between now and campaign 26, that I have moved these lovely baskets that I have taken hours upon hours upon hours to put together. So even as seniors, we can have flops and events, okay? So there's one, okay? Okay, so let's move on. Let's just move forward a little bit. Now, sometimes in this business, you can have issues with people within the business. That can mean somebody from your team. That can mean a district sales manager. That can mean a divisional sales manager. That can mean somebody from corporate. That can mean another representative who's not even on your team. And I have had that kind of week. That has been my stress this week. And I'm still trying to get over the one I'm going to share with you now. Okay? Doesn't really matter what the disagreements are about. I realize that after I've had 24 to 36 hours to reflect on what has gone on with me in the last couple of days, that it's not really what the problem was about, but it is, number one, what can I do about the problem, if anything? How can I work around it? How can I go over it? Do I let it go? How is it going to benefit my team? How is it going to benefit my customers? Is it going to benefit me and my health, stressing over it? And even when I know I'm right, is it a fight I want to pick up and fight? Because in the end, where is it going to get me? Is it just about being right? Or is it going to be something that, you know what, I really got to stick to my guns with this, because if not, it's going to hurt my team, it's going to hurt me, it's going to hurt this. Well, this is the deal. I don't have a lot of issues with people on my team. Now I have. Believe it or not, I've had people on the team Onward who can't stand me. Can you imagine being on my team and not liking me? All this big hair to love? Seriously? But some people don't like my honesty. And some people don't like my bluntness. There are people on my team who haven't liked it. There are people who haven't liked it in the beginning, but as they grew in their business, they learned to appreciate it. Because I always say, if you don't want to know, don't ask me, because I'm pretty much going to be honest with you. And then there are people within the corporate world who admire me so vastly for my passion about my team, because I'm such a mama bear, about my adopted peeps because they are just like my family, about my Avon friends who have become as close as family, if not closer. And I guard all of those things with my life. But sometimes you have to know how far you're going to go with that. I'm here to tell you that sometimes you just have to know when to leave things alone, when to figure out whether the frustration is worth the frustration, and if the battle is worth the battle. And in the end, even if you know you're right, know how you're going to handle something differently. Be able to strip everything away from it and figure out where could you possibly have gone wrong. What mistake did you make? Because you always need to look at yourself first. See if there's something you could have done differently. And I have to be honest with you. I could have handled this situation a little bit differently, but my anger got the best of me in this situation. And again, I'm not going to share the situation with you because it doesn't matter now. Because it's over, it's done with, and finished. But I will handle it differently next time. And I will keep the class about me that I think I have the majority of the time. And I will hold the partnerships that I have to hold where I need to hold them. But I will very much figure out in this business that I have my own back. And that's what I want you to remember. I want you to remember that in this business, it is your business. Don't let your frustrations come with what other people do. Sometimes you're going to run across a bad representative, and that bad representative could be on your team. That bad representative may not be on your team. They may be in your district. They may be in your division. They may be doing some underhanded things. And you may be like, no, this ain't happening. There could be, just like there are good district sales managers, there are bad district sales managers. And they may be performing some actions out there that are just not cool. This is what I'm going to tell you. We get to choose who we work with and who we don't work with. We get to choose what works best for our team and what doesn't. And your team members get to do the same. And by God, isn't it wonderful to know that they cannot fire us because they do not like us. This is the best business in the world still. And as mad as I was at Avon and certain people in Avon this week, I need you to know that all it did was make my passion about this company even greater. I have talked to a few of you this week, not about this directly, but you're going through some of the same things that I'm going through. It reiterated what I knew was happening. But the point is this. Nobody is responsible for my success but me. And if there's something that I want my representatives to know, it's up to me to communicate that. It's up to me to build the relationship with my team. It's up to me to build the relationship with my customers. It's up to me to make sure the right information gets to people who mean the most to us in this business. You get frustrated, you got a customer, they place a $98 order. And by the way, I had a lady, let's tackle that. I had a lady who's been a customer of mine for a while, and she placed a $316 order with me. And that was great. I was ecstatic. Hey, most people wish their whole order was $316. With me, this is a lady who, when she places an order, it's a great order. And it ended up that this lady, ran into some issues and said, hey, Molly, I want to pay you half, for the order. Can I do this? And can I pay you the rest for that? And I said, you know what? Yes, you can do that. Now, why did I say that? One, because she's been my customer for about 3 years. Two, because I have the backing that I need financially, that I am able to, if I have to wait on some money for a customer, I can do that. And I hope that one day you all can be too. That's an awesome feeling. With most of us now, we're having to collect the money up front, so it doesn't matter. This is a case where I wish I had collected the money up front. Now, whatever happened in this lady's life, and the empathy was there, my problem wasn't that the lady didn't have the money. The problem was that the lady wasn't communicating that she didn't have the money. That was very frustrating for me. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether to send the product back. I didn't know what to do. This was different. She didn't normally act like this. And I can remember she told me that she was going to have her money by a certain day, and I said, okay, that's great. And she didn't have her money then. And then 2 more weeks went by, and she didn't have her money then. And boy, I got to tell you, I was not happy. I was not happy. I was ready to say, look, this relationship with us isn't working, not because I don't want to work with you, but because you're not communicating. And it ended up that we did work it out. And she didn't have the money, and she ended up returning some of the products, and I was completely okay with that. And then she ended up paying me the rest, and we ended up working it out, and that is great. I get it. When a customer does something and you're going for President's Club or you're going for Honor Society, or you want to break that first $400 order, and a customer doesn't do something they're supposed to do, or you end up returning something, and it throws your whole world off kilter, your whole Avon world, because you just know what your goal is and you're going after it. And I'm here to tell you that stuff happens. So many of you come into this business, and look, I try really hard to take the newbie experience and say, I get that you're hoping that everything's going to be perfect, but this is where I've got to be real with all of you. If you think that this Avon world is going to be perfect and you're always going to get the products that you put in for, and you're never going to have a back order, and if I see one more post on Onward about Olaf's and Elsa's that are back ordered. I am just going to shave my head and you all are not going to see the big hair anymore. That's what's going to happen, okay? I mean, seriously, guys. Elsa and Olaf aren't even supposed to be out until campaign 25. You have set Avon up for failure before they have even begun. They did this great thing and took 2,000 Elsas and Olafs and put them on there and said, hey, first come, first serve is going to get them. By the way, like any other person or company that sells does this. You know how it is. Target puts up something for Black Friday and they say, okay, we only have 100 in every store. Whoever lines up first and gets it, that's it. You're going to get it. Look, there are going to be some people who leave are going to be disappointed, but daggone. You just think, what is it that you think? That we're not like another company? That they should just be able to pull the Olafs out of the hats and the Elsas out of the bags or something and they should be there? Look, Avon didn't have to offer that up as a preview. They did that to get hype up for you all. They did it for us. They did it because people who shop online now are seeing the Elsas and the Olafs and, oh, look what they have, and hey, we're going to have them again soon, and notify me. Oh my gosh, are you serious? They do things like that I've never seen them do, to take items out of the book like that and preview them like one day opportunity to get it early. And you all want to sit and complain about it because, oh, they're going to put limits on what they can get online. Daggone right, they're going to put limits on what they can get. Do you forget that we have 300,000 other representatives out here that are going to need to get their hands on the Olafs? Suddenly everybody is agitated about the fact, the whole demo thing, that for certain people you can get 1 demo, somebody else you can get 3, Honor Society you can get 5, Rose Circle you can get 10. And there's been some glitch in the system for a while that's been allowed people to get as many demos as they want as long as they go and they pay and then they go back. Avon said, oh my gosh, we didn't realize we were glitching, and now it's as it should be, and you want to get agitated about it? Really? I mean, what in the world is wrong with you people? I get frustration. That's what this call is about. But as a business owner, get frustrated about the right things. Look, there's going to come a time, whether you like it or not, between now and 26, hear me, we going to run out of Elsas and Olafs. Sometime or other, it's going to happen. Maybe it won't happen until campaign 1. Maybe it'll happen at the end of 25. Look, it is a seasonal item. Seasonal. You know what that means? When we're ho-ho-hoing and jingle-belling, and when that starts to fade, we ain't having it no more. That's how it rolls with Avon. And by the way, every other department store, anybody out there. Seasonal, people. Seasonal. Why are you concentrating, as my husbandly bib put on Onward tonight, why are you concentrating on just Olaf and Elsa's to make your sales? We are not an Elsa and Olaf Disney company. We are Avon, the company for women and a few good men. And last I checked, we had some awesome makeup products. We had some awesome skincare products. We had awesome footworks products. We have awesome perfume and cologne. We have a new men's line coming out for facial care. Why in the heck? Why don't you stop getting all caught up with Disney? If you want to sell Disney so bad, do me a favor. Go work for Disney. Go work for the Frozen department. Because I got news for you. I don't like all those 20% sales. I want to make 50%. And I have no chance in hell of making a 50% anything on Elsa and Olaf. And by the way, that's not a repeat sale. That's a one-time sale. Y'all better start concentrating on what you can sell that they're going to need again in 6 weeks. That they're going to need again in a month. That they're going to love so much that they're going to love it. Christmas, Halloween, Flag Day, Easter, Mama's Day, Father's Day, Ice Cream Day, Pizza Day, all them days, Molly Stone Bib Day, they're going to love it all those days. That is what you want. You get so zeroed in on one thing. And why is it always the bad thing? You know, I shake my head all the time. Anymore, I get up, I get my coffee, I hit Facebook as I'm sitting here, and I say, okay, I will guarantee you 10 to 1 that whatever bad post happened overnight, I bet you that the posts are longer 20 to 1 than the great post about somebody having the best order they've ever had. And I am right every single time. It's like rubbernecking when there's an accident on the side of the road. Anything that could be bad, let's just jump on board that train because it's going slower and it's easier to step up on it. If you wonder why you're not moving forward in your business, you need to think about what you get frustrated with. And once you figure it out, you better figure out first if it's worth your frustration. Because that was half my frustration this week. Is it worth staying frustrated about? Is it worth having my feelings hurt over it? Is it worth the betrayal I was feeling? Is it worth taking me away from my time, my team, my business, my family, my life, my sanity, no gray hairs? Is it worth all that? I don't know much that is. We are a society in general, I hate to say it, who seems to thrive on the bad and not the good. But see, my whole thing with Onward is, I'm out to change that. Onward, no matter what. Not onward, well, almost all the time, or onward when I feel like it, or onward on Wednesdays and Fridays. Or how about onward just during the holiday season? Onward no matter what. That is what I'm trying to train you all up to be. An onward no matter what person that, you know, it may look like you're never going to get past whatever struggle you're having, but you're not going to give up until you get past it, or it takes you out of here. Because that's what's going to build your character. That's what's going to build that strength that you didn't think you had. That's what's going to make you into the leader that you never thought you could be. That's what's going to make you into the best customer service representative that your part of the state has ever had. When I think about making a statement like that, I think about one of the representatives on my team. And somebody who has only met me once personally, and she linked up with me through YouTube. She is a unit leader plus on my team now, on her way to becoming an advanced unit leader. And her name is Brenda Lloyd. This girl has taken her business and she has claimed it. She has staked a claim through every issue in her family, through every issue in her town, through every issue within herself, through every issue that could possibly hold her back. And she has said, I'm not giving up. And I am not going to let people keep me down. It doesn't matter if it's a corporate person. It doesn't matter if it's an Avon person. It doesn't matter what it is, what the situation is. This girl says, I got my goals in front of me, and I'm going after them. And when something happens and I had to take 2 steps back, don't worry, because I see right back where I got to get back to, and I am on my way. This chick has dealt with sickness in her family. She has dealt with her son being in the hospital with major complications. She is still dealing with stuff in her life. She lives in this small town, and she's got sales that are off the roof for herself. Why? Because she decided to get out of her little circle, out of her little box, out of her little town, and she decided that she knows what her goals were, and it doesn't matter where she's got to go to make them happen. They're going to happen. She's going to be the best of the best, and she's not stopping until she gets there. I got to tell you something. That's what I want on my team. I am so proud to have Brenda Lloyd on my team. I am so proud to have leaders on my team. And I could go on and tell you stories. I've told you stories about Janae Neely and what she's gone through. I've told you stories about Brenda Curtis, who taught me how to bag those bags like they look like they're sealed. What she's going through right now because she has recently lost her mother, her best friend in life. No warning, no nothing. Just God called her home one afternoon while she was taking a nap. And that is what Brenda Curtis is facing right now. But you know what? I know Brenda Curtis, she's going to snap back. Because I know what she's made of. I can tell you about the struggles of the executives on my team. I can tell you about Rena Butler, who lives not so far from me, who has been back in this company now and with me twice. And this time she has said, I'm not giving up. It may take me longer. I may have some struggles of my own personally, but I'm not giving up, Molly. See, these are the people. I think about people out there I've never met who aren't even on my team. I think about, Brittany Hutchinson. She didn't get to come to Orlando. She wanted to meet me. She's been following me for a long time. And I think about how I never see this girl give up on her business. How she's always striving for the goals that she wants. I think about people. Barbara, how many times were you going to quit, sister? And you are here. You are here tonight. You are on the call. You are saying, I'm not going to give up. You're out there trying to help other representatives. I think about the people who have influenced my life. I think about the Teresa Pauls. I think about Miss Pat Putzer. I think about Chris Breeze. I think about the Smiths, Randy, our dear Sophia Smith, and Karen. I can go on and on. Angelica Gee, oh my God. Lisa Scola, Eric Mullins. Eric Mullins, that's a whole nother story. We ain't even going to get into that. But you know what I'm saying. Look, Lisa Wilbur. Lisa freaking Wilbur. Who would have ever thought? The time that she takes, the effort that she's given Avon reps all over this country, when everybody thought it wasn't cool to help somebody else's team, that it wasn't cool to share. And Lisa Wilbur made it cool. See, they're the people I follow. My upline, Mary Ann Penn, who has shown me whatever I needed to know in this business, and everything she's shown me that I knew I could apply to my business, I've done that. Everything Ray Penn gave me before God took him away from here. Everything I'm giving you, that Lee and I give you guys, that we share with you guys willingly. Willingly. What am I getting out of it? Am I getting anything out of it? Yeah, I am. That's what you miss. I am getting something out of it. Because see, 10 years ago, I told God that if He showed me my purpose, if He showed me what He wanted me to do, if He showed me where I could help people, if He showed me what I could do to help support my family, make a better life, then I told Him that I would pay it back every single day of my life. That I wasn't sure how He wanted me to do it, but if He showed me, and I just thought it was leadership. I thought, well, I know I'm a good sales rep. I know I can sell. But maybe this leadership thing, okay, let's see what we can do with this. And then that guy who did Facebook, you know what, he kind of opened that up, and the rest is history. Here we sit in Onward, no matter what, with 82, almost 8,300 reps from all over the globe. Somebody who didn't want to quit, but they didn't know what to do. Somebody told them it was going to be perfect, and they came into our group and they were going to quit because they were looking for the perfect, and they found out that this is not a perfect world, that this is not a perfect business, that you are going to have struggles, that you're going to have frustrations, and they finally exhaled and they said, oh my gosh, it's not me. Everybody goes through this. It's such a passion for me, for you all to understand that it's not that what we have to do is hard. It's that doing it all the time, building it until you get it where you want. The struggle is not giving up. The struggle is not quitting. The struggle is doing what you need to do until you get where you want to go, and to know that it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It is definitely not going to happen overnight, because I'm still not where I want to be, and it's been 10 years, but I am so much further than I was 10 years ago. That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that if you've been in this business 6 months and you think you should be where I'm at, you're wrong. I'm not telling you it's never happened. I'm telling you that it's not normal. I am telling you that building this business, you know how Lee and I teach. We don't teach keep getting to the next title as quick as you can. We believe in build it big, build it strong. We believe that when you are bringing up unit leaders, you should be training them to build it big, to build it strong, so they don't have to worry about hitting their numbers. We don't believe in celebrating too long when you hit unit leader. We believe that we're glad you hit unit leader, but we want you not to have to give unit leader up. We don't want to see you become title at risk. We want to help you build it big so you don't have that worry and you can move on to the next level. You think we're hard. We have to be hard. We have to be honest. You don't see us wavering in what we think you should do. What it takes to build a strong team. That you will always have people who walk away. You don't lose them, they walk away. I still have people who walk away from me. By the way, every single campaign, people walk away from my business. They walk away from their own business. They walk away from the success they could have had, and they decided they wanted something else. It's okay. I leave the door open and say, you ever want to give it another shot? Come on back. We'd love to have you. Frustrations are going to be part of this. Hard times are going to be part of this. And setbacks are going to be part of this. But the deal is, are you going to stay frustrated? Are you going to stay in that setback range? Are you going to pout? Are you going to scream about Olafs and Elsas till you lose your voice and forget about the rest of your business? Are you going to cry over the one person who walked away? Or are you going to go talk to the hundreds of people that are out there amongst them in the world, right in your town? And are you going to tell them about the wonderful opportunity? And one of them are going to be the ones that stay. Quit worrying about why people leave. And quit worrying about making excuses. It takes a strong intestinal fortitude, guts, people, to stay in this business for more than just a little extra money. Look, a lot of people on my team are just on this for the little bit of extra money. And that's okay, because I love the fact that Avon says, you want a little? We can do that. You want something in between? We can do that. You want a new house? We can do that. You want to give up that job? Oh, you stay with us long enough and you work hard and we can do that. I love that. I can fit them in their own business. It's not one size fits all. It is, I have many sizes here and all I've got to do is fit it to you. That is what's so awesome about what we have here. Somebody doesn't want to be a leader? Don't try to make them a leader. What's wrong with you? Stop it. If sales is their game, take that game and run with it, sister. That's what I say. Be the biggest salesperson you can be. Because maybe it's just not their time. Who gives a crap about those freaking bonuses? Those bonuses come and they go. Bam. Just like that. When they are ready for a residual income, as we tell them about it, something in their life could change, and they may suddenly want to come be a part of it. That's great. But until then, let them be part of your sales team and treat them like the important people they are. Because that's what my upline did for me, and that's what my district manager at the time did for me. I wasn't in leadership in the beginning. But they made me feel like $1 million because my sales were growing And for the first time ever, I felt like I was doing something that made a difference. You make a difference, and you can continue to make a difference. But it's all up to you. See, I can't make you make a difference. I can't make my team make a difference. You can make a difference. And by the way, I don't think you ever once, and all the times y'all been following me, you ever heard me say it's going to be easy. It is a mountaintop that I still look up to. See, Avon just increased the size of the mountain for me. Because, see, I thought when I got my S on and we became a senior executive unit leader, I thought I had reached the top. Maybe not as big as I wanted to be. But then Avon came along and they put an N in front of the S. And now there's National Senior Executive Unit Leader. So they just showed me a bigger mountain. They gave me a bigger peak. And I got to tell you something. I'm climbing for it. Because I don't feel like I'm at the top now. I may be one of the top, but I want that N in front of my S. And I don't plan on stopping until I get it. And it has given me a newfound drive to want to do more and reach more people and help them build bigger sales and give them a reason to want to stay around. Because, by the way, if you think grabbing somebody and getting them 3 or 4 people on their team and making them a unit leader is going to get them to stay, nobody is going to stay with this company for a $13 leadership check. And that's the way they all start. But when you teach those people how to move those products, how to make people fall in love with that Avon brochure, teach those people how this skincare line can be the best you ever use. This perfume is perfect on you. You're having problems with your feet? Let me introduce you to the Footworks line. Oh my gosh, and have you even tried our Skin So Soft line? Avon keeps expanding it. Let me show you about this. When we teach them how to be great in sales, and they are making $200 to $500 every 2 weeks in sales, they can't afford to leave. And as they continue to bring people on their team, and their $13 checks move up to $53 checks, and their $53 checks move up to $100 and $200 and $2,000 and $3,000 eventually, what kept them there is the right now money. And that is the money of making people fall in love with our brochure and our products and sharing it with everybody. Don't ever be without those brochures and those recruiting flyers. Don't ever be without a sample pack to give somebody and say, hey, here's a little something for you. Thank you so much for being my customer. Or thank you for stopping by. Here's a brochure and a little something for you. Don't forget what gets you where you're going, people. That's what I want to say to you. You're going to get frustrated. Don't let those frustrations hold on to you. It's going to come. Sometimes you're going to know it does, but you're going to remember this call, and you're going to go back and watch this video. And you're going to say, wait a minute, I remember this. You know, we can't get ate up with the frustrations. We can't let it bring us down. Be frustrated. Sleep on it. Get up. And be prepared to move past it. Because when you want to go where you want to go, it is a climb. It is a climb. It is a mountain. Do you want to be a top seller? Do you want to be McConnell? Do you want to be Inner Circle? Are you trying to get the President's Club? Are you trying to get your E on and be an executive? Do you want to be an AUL? Do you want to be a senior? Do you want to be up there with us? Do you want all those benefits? It is a climb, and you are going to skin your knees. You're going to be frustrated. But I'm going to tell you, every time you take another step up that mountain, whether you slide down or not, what's going to happen is you're going to learn something. You're going to find not to step back where you just stepped, and you're going to learn to adjust your footing, and you're going to get better at what you weren't so good at 6 months ago, because all you can see is that goal, the top of the mountain, and you want it. You want to reach it. You've got to know what you want. And then when you know where you want to go, the frustrations will not stay with you like they do at the beginning of your business. You will find a way to move past them. because that's what it's about. The climb to success and what you're willing to do and let go of in order to get there. I think it's only appropriate tonight that as we end this call, that you think about your frustrations with the company, with your life, with maybe your job, your other job. Decide what you're going to do with it. But think about the climb. You know, I'm not a huge Miley Cyrus fan, but there's a few songs that I really loved of hers. And when Lee was letting me listen to this, he said, you know, this is what we need for the end of our call with what you're talking about. And I have to tell you, he's right. It's the climb, people. So we are going to see you again in 2 weeks, the week before Thanksgiving. Until then, go forth and sell that product. Share that brochure. Share that opportunity. Don't forget to take time for yourself and your family in the midst of all this. Don't forget to exhale. And know that Onward, no matter what, is always there for you. We may be tough, but we're out to make you the best representative you could ever be in the Avon world. We will see you next Friday, or 2 Fridays from now. Lee, take us away with the climb, my dear. I love you guys.